The internet is not what you think it is. What you use every day, Google, YouTube, social media, news sites, online shopping, that is the surface web. It makes up roughly 4% of the total internet. The other 96% is hidden beneath the surface, and what lives in the deepest layers is far stranger, far more disturbing, and far more important to the functioning of the modern world than most people realize. Let me take you down, layer by layer. The first layer beneath the surface is the deep web. Despite its ominous-sounding name, the deep web is not sinister at all. It is simply everything on the internet that is not indexed by search engines like Google or Bing. Your email inbox is part of the deep web, your online banking dashboard, your medical records stored on a hospital server, private corporate databases, internal company communications, academic research behind paywalls, government archives, legal databases, library catalogs. The deep web is estimated to be about 400 to 500 times larger than the surface web you interact with every day. It is the internet's vast filing cabinet, essential and mostly boring. Below the deep web, things get interesting. The dark web is a portion of the internet that requires special software to access, most commonly the Tor browser. Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, works by encrypting your internet traffic and bouncing it through a series of volunteer-operated relay servers scattered around the world, each one peeling away a single layer of encryption, like layers of an onion. By the time your request reaches its destination, it has been routed through so many intermediaries in so many countries that tracing it back to your actual computer and physical location is extraordinarily difficult. The important thing to understand is that Tor was not created by criminals. It was developed by the United States Naval Research Laboratory in the mid-1990s, specifically to protect American intelligence communications overseas. It is still partially funded by the U.S. State Department, and it is used every day by journalists operating in authoritarian countries where independent reporting is a death sentence, by political dissidents communicating under surveillance states, by whistleblowers exposing corruption, and by human rights activists coordinating in hostile environments. Edward Snowden used Tor to communicate with journalists. Reporters working under the Arab Spring used Tor to file stories without being tracked by security services. Domestic abuse survivors used Tor to access support resources without their abuser being able to monitor their browsing history. But anonymity is a tool, and like any powerful tool, it serves whoever wields it. The dark web is also home to illegal marketplaces that traffic in drugs, weapons, stolen financial data, counterfeit documents, and far worse. The most infamous was the Silk Road, created by a 26-year-old named Ross Ulbricht in 2011. Operating like an Amazon for illegal goods, with user reviews, vendor ratings, and a dispute resolution system, Silk Road used Tor for anonymity and Bitcoin for payments that were difficult to trace. At its peak, it had over 100,000 active buyers and facilitated an estimated $1.2 billion in transactions. The FBI shut it down in October 2013 and arrested Ulbricht, who is now serving life in prison without parole. But dozens of successor marketplaces have appeared since, each learning from the operational security mistakes of its predecessors. Every time law enforcement closes one marketplace, another opens within weeks. The data economy on the dark web is particularly chilling. A stolen credit card number, complete with billing address and CVV code, sells for about $10 to $20. A complete identity package, including name, social security number, date of birth, mother's maiden name, current address, and bank account credentials, sells for about $30 to $80. Medical records are more valuable than credit cards because they contain enough personal information for identity theft, insurance fraud, tax fraud, and prescription drug scams simultaneously. A single medical record can fetch up to $1,000. Corporate login credentials for company VPNs, email servers, or cloud infrastructure sell for thousands or tens of thousands, depending on the target company's size and the level of access provided. Ransomware as a service platforms have industrialized cybercrime even further. These platforms allow people with essentially no technical expertise to launch sophisticated cyber attacks against businesses, hospitals, and government agencies. The platform provides the malware, the infrastructure for delivering it, the payment collection system for receiving ransom and cryptocurrency, and even customer support representatives who help confused victims figure out how to purchase Bitcoin and make their ransom payment. The operator takes a percentage of every ransom paid, typically around 30%. It is cybercrime as a franchise business. And governments are players on the dark web too, not just as law enforcement, but as active participants. Intelligence agencies use it for covert communications. Nation-states use it to coordinate cyber attacks and espionage operations. Law enforcement agencies operate elaborate honeypot marketplaces, fake illegal websites specifically designed to attract criminals, collect evidence, and identify targets for arrest. The dark web is not a lawless frontier existing outside the reach of authority. It is a contested, crowded, multiplayer arena where criminals, activists, governments, corporations, intelligence agencies, and ordinary people seeking privacy are all operating simultaneously, often using the exact same tools and infrastructure for completely different purposes. Here is what should keep you up at night. Approximately 15 billion stolen credentials are currently circulating on the dark web marketplaces and forums. Statistical probability says your email address, at least one of your passwords, and likely a significant amount of your personal information is available for purchase right now. The internet you see every day is a carefully curated, well-lit, corporate-branded storefront. Behind it stretches a warehouse of almost infinite depth, containing everything from mundane database records to the tools of espionage and organized crime. And the boundary between the two is far thinner and far more